Hi there. Before we get started, I just need to tell you that I deleted the footage from one of my two cameras I use. So in this first part of the video, you're not going to see this wide shot where you get to see my beautiful face. The only shot I've got is a close-ups of the rocks. So I think you come here for the rocks, not for me. So if I had to pick one or the other, I would have picked the rocks anyhow. So here we go. Hey everybody, this is the second part of the video where I tumble the Lake Superior agates. These were sent to me by a subscriber named Adam Anderson, so thanks again Adam. Really appreciate this, I've been having a ball with these. So in the first video, I tumbled these just with a vibratory tumbler. They went in pretty much just the way they were. I just threw them in the vibratory tumbler. They spent 9 days in the tumbler and came out shiny but still bumpy, kind of have the natural shape. There are a number of the bigger ones that I cut in half first to try to reveal some bands before I threw it in the tumbler, but other than that, they went in just the way I got them. And they came out pretty much the way I got them except shiny, but bumps and flaws still included. So these are all going to go now into the rotary tumbler. I want to show you the difference between rotary tumbling and vibratory tumbling. So these are going to go in the rotary tumbler until they're completely smoothed out, and then the last little stage I'll put them back in the vibratory tumbler just because that's a lot quicker. These all have a very thin layer of agate around the outside and a lot of quartz in the middle. A little easier to see on this one maybe. So this is all the quartz in here, a little bit of agate around the outside. So for these I decided to just leave well enough alone. I'm afraid that if I tumble these too much, I'll tumble all the agate away and I'll just be left with quartz. And the agate's a good part in my opinion, so I left these as is. These are this was the amethyst agate. Now it's two amethyst agates. It does have quite a bit of agate around the outside, but I just decided not to mess with this one. This one's just so cool the way it is, I just decided to leave it this way. So these are done, not touching these. These are going into the rotary tumbler. I'm going to spend some time in the flat lap, both before I tumble and during the tumbling. So as I clean out in the weekend, or every week, I'm going to see if there's a big hole or something. I'll take it to the flat lap and grind that away a little bit too. So stay tuned and we'll tumble these up and you'll see how they look rotary tumbled. So the idea here is to take some of these concave parts or holes and grind them away. So I'll grind that whole surface off until it's down to that depth. Same thing with some of these holes around here. And then these will go in the rotary tumbler, and each week when I check them, if I see some more holes that I missed before, I might come back and touch them up here on the flat lap again. So here goes. So you can see it's starting to wear down there. And these are really hard rocks. This is going to take a little while. So I won't bore you with this. I'll just let you see them when they're done. They're done. It's been almost 4 months. These started in June and it's now October and they're finally done. So most of that time they've been rolling in the rotary tumblers doing the first stage. And then the last week was in the lotto tumbler, a vibratory tumbler, just putting the shine on them. If you want to know the steps that I used for this, look in the description. I'll put written out directions for how to do these. I'll also put a link to a video that shows exactly how I tumble using this method. And also in there I'll put a link to the original video that we did here where I just did the vibratory tumbler. And before I forget to tell you, at the end of this video I'm going to have a slideshow, and I can see kind of when people stop watching my videos, there's graphs and stuff I can see on YouTube. And a lot of people don't watch the slideshow. This is one time you might want to watch it. I'll have a picture of the original rock before I did anything to it, and then what it looked like when I just went through the vibratory tumbler, and then the third picture will be the way they are now, where they've been through the rotary and the vibratory tumbler. So anyhow, one of the downsides of doing it this way is these rocks got a lot smaller than they were before. As you saw, I spent some time in the flat lap grinding them. I also used my cabochon machine. This is a grinder that has coarse wheels here to finer wheels here. I just use these first two wheels sometimes to kind of get out some bad spots. These are 6-inch wheels, so they're able to reach inside the rock a little bit since they're curved. I can kind of dig in a little spot without taking quite so much rock off. So that's why I use that machine for part of this. So between the tumbler and that, these just get a lot smaller. The upside is they don't have any holes, or there's still cracks in them, but they're not deep cracks. So I took a lot of that stuff out, so they're now nicely rounded. This is the way I prefer them. Some of you are, I'm sure you'll speak up, please do. Some of you are going to tell me that they look better before, or you prefer the more natural look. It's a matter of personal preference, so like I said, I like doing it this way. The other way sure is a lot quicker, so if you like it that way, you only need one tumbler and it's really, really quick. So let's get into looking at them here, and we'll see what they look like up close. So one of the things I noticed when tumbling these is that these have a lot of cracks in them. So you look at that crack and it goes all the way around the rock. So there's no tumbling that out. The only thing I could possibly do is break the rock along the crack and then tumble the two halves, and I'd have two little rocks without cracks, but it'd be so small it would kind of ruin it. So I didn't do that. I've heard that Lake Superior agates have a lot of, wow, that's awesome, have a lot of fractures in them, but this is the first I've experienced them. Look at that, you can see right down in there. I'm looking right here. That's neat. Okay, I'll be 2-hour long video the way I'm looking at these. But I can't stop myself. That is so cool. How can you not love looking at rocks? So maybe one of the advantages to leaving these a little more rough looking is that although that crack's still there and a whole bunch of other flaws, it doesn't stand out quite so much. I still think I prefer this way. Here's a pair that was cut in half, like that. So this was one rock. You can see how much it's worn away and rounded off and stuff. You can actually see light through that one. See my finger? It's really cracked up back there. Here's another pair while I'm looking at them. Somehow, there we go. I'd apologize about the glare on the rocks, but I'm not one bit sorry about it. Spent 4 months trying to get that glare there. Kind of cool. There's just that one little pair of stripes there and not much else. Oh, there's that. Should have ground a little bit more. This is one, can you see the curvature? That's one that I did on the wheels trying to get that little spot out, and I must have thought that I had it and I didn't, but you can see the curvature. So I was trying to dig in there. That one's different. Someone's looking at you. Oh, cool. I like this side better. Love the little eyes or orbs, whatever you want to call them. Isn't this fun? Love looking at these things. Yes, there's just a little bit of banding on the end there. A little bit of quartz. Thought I was going to flip that over and get a big show, but pretty darn subtle. It's better when there's more contrast, like this one, for example. That's called fortification banding there. That's what a lot of these are. Let's see if that's a shadow agate. I think it is. Oh, here's that other little half of this one. I cut it trying to find something better on the inside, and just not a lot there. This one, on the other hand, is awesome. So what do you think? Better this way or better the other way? I haven't taken the pictures for the slideshow at the end yet, but I will, and I'll line them up all the same way, and it'll give you a really good idea of which way you like better. Okay, so this one, this is probably about half the size that it started. I think this was like, way out here when I started, and I just kept grinding and grinding and grinding, and finally I just said, you know what, it's gonna be gone. This is another one, you can see the curvature of the wheel as I was trying to get in there and get that, and I finally just quit. And that was white like that before it went in the tumbler, so that's not grit stuck in there or rock slurry. I scrubbed that out really well and tried to scratch it out with a needle and stuff. That was like that before. I'm pretty sure, not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure those are barite crystals that were in there and fell out. So there's like these deep kind of flat holes that go in it. They weren't cracks, they were like a hole rather than a crack. So I'm pretty sure that's what's going on. Oh, this one's really cool. All right, so remember how some of those rocks I didn't put in the second stage here because they had a lot of quartz in them. So this one, I could see this quartz and there's banding around there, and it looked like that there's just a little bit of quartz in there and a lot of agate. So I threw it in and rolled around the tumbler for 4 months, and turns out there wasn't very much agate on this end at all. I don't remember for sure, but I know there wasn't that much quartz showing back there. So you can see where it's just almost worn all the way off. So if I tumbled this long enough, it'd all just be white, which would kind of ruin it. But it really turned out kind of cool back here. I like that a lot. That's one of my favorites. That one's not half bad either. Oh, look at the banding right there. Just a little bit around the quartz. That's got some good contrast to it. Nice one. That I probably should have tumbled a little bit more and gotten rid of, but the rock was getting so small I'd almost lose it. But that's just shallow, and with a little more grinding or tumbling I could have gotten it out. Oh well, sometimes I miss stuff. It's got some little pits in it. See, it didn't grind down quite far enough on that one either. Once again, it's tiny, so sometimes you just gotta call it quits. I like that. I just love the eyes. Oh, this is another one that goes with, this one came in 2 pieces. And at one time, in the other video, I kind of pieced them together somehow, and you could see they fit right together. Not so much anymore. Really good bands on those. Getting towards the end here, almost slideshow time. So those little eyes there with the holes in them, there's not much you can do about those. If you grind all the way through the holes, then you lose the eyes. So, don't want to put an eye out. That's what my mom always said. That one's kind of a dud, isn't it? Let's move on. Last one. You can show that without the glare. There we go. Alright, that's it. So stay tuned for the slideshow. Thanks for watching.